Welcome back to Cheers to Health. Yeah, it's me, Omar, the one dude that's hosting us. But the other guys can't make it, unfortunately. Well, maybe AJ if he can figure his stuff out. He's having a little technical difficulties, but Brian is not able to make it due to, he got held back at work a little bit longer. Hopefully we can get AJ on here. But today uh, we are going over the body weight squats. Let's see what he says real quick. Nope. Dang. All right. That's cool. We can keep it rolling. So it's just me, I guess. But hopefully, they can chime in the comments and stuff like that, and give us a little input on what's going on, and keep rolling with that one. Like I said, today we're gonna be going over the body weight squats in the new series, Fitfam Fundamentals, with the Cheers to Health bros. Bro, me, sheesh. It's all right. We'll get it done. So, what I wanted to go over though is how important it is to do the squats, the body weight squats. You don't need no weight, you don't need no tools, resistant bands, dumbbells, barbell. It does increase that progression, but you don't need all that. All you need is your rear end, okay? And when we do this movement, there's a lot of muscle groups that get involved. It's a compound movement because we got to make sure we're set up properly, got that posture, get that back rigid, just like we talked about with the push ups. Same kind of positioning we want for the squats with our trunk, our upper trunk. Make it solid. Get there. Squat down like you're about to pop on the toilet. You know, that's why it's beneficial, man. You got to be able to get up and out of the toilet, especially when you get older. You start losing some muscle mass. So get them squats in. But yeah, from there, get that trunk solid. Then get to bending down. Hang on. I'm going to go have a video here for y'all to kind of go over. Let's see. Because I did make a video on the YouTube channel, Cheers to Health or Cheers to Health Fitness and Vids. Vids and stuff. I don't know, man. I didn't do well with that name. Just give me a minute here. Oh, nope. See that? I am unprepared. I apologize for that. Oh, let's see. Give me a minute. Okay, so here we go. So the squat, awesome workout. Here we go. I'm gonna share my screen and then I'm gonna go over this exercise with y'all. This is a video I made. So let's scroll a little bit. Yeah, so the squat. I'll go over this a little bit with the positioning and everything. The first thing here that we talk about is the foundation, man. Okay, so the foundation. When we break down this exercise, of course, you want to start from the bottom up. And the foundation is important because you want to have a nice, solid, grounding foundation. So a good way to do that is to imagine your feet as tripods, okay? Big toe, little toe, heel. I had my son doing some squats with me, because we're doing that challenge. If you're not doing the challenge, step your game up. We're doing the challenge, and it's 15 squats this week, every day. But we were doing the squats, and I noticed when he does the squats, he does them where all that weight is on his toes. When you do that, you get too much of that momentum going towards your knees. He's a little bitty guy, so he's got that flexibility and stuff like that. But if it was somebody bigger, you lose that momentum, put too much stress on that knee. So that's why it's important to be balanced and even on that movement. So start foundation, solid tripod on both ends. At the same time, you create that little arch on your feet. which is good. Imagine gripping that ground. All right. So we move from there to the knees. Yeah, we want to make sure the knees are lined up with those toes. When we do that, we got to have that same path where our knees, they have a little groove in that knee. So we want to make sure everything's lined up properly so we don't, get carried away and put some irritation, some wear and tear, straining ACL or something like that. So making sure everything's lined up properly, even from the knee, toe, or the toe, the knee, and then we go up to the hips. Yeah. And when we do that, it's going to be a slight external rotation. And that's what I go over here a little bit is when we do this, a slight external rotation, but not too much. You don't want to go too crazy and be all, like a what's it called? A penguin or something. Here we go. See that? Pointing out here is toe, knee lined up. And then from there, the hips, external rotation, slightly. The reason being for that slight external rotation is because you want, again, the path of your hips now to this point. We went from the knee. We want a good natural path, even with the hips. Sometimes it is kind of a thing to be more parallel, so keeping the feet parallel. And when we do that, we get into a squat. We put a lot of tension on the quads. But for this, we want the full range of motion, so more range of motion. And with that, we can do a slight external rotation at the hips. So the toes get turned out a little bit, knees follow along, and you got a nice little path there to increase that range of motion. And yeah, like I mentioned in the beginning, after that, you want a solid trunk. But if you don't have that external rotation, there's a couple things that could happen with the hips. One thing is if you go too far in, you can cause impingement in those hips because it's not the natural path. So we go in, the knees buckle in, all that kind of starts to stack up and cause impingement in those muscles around the hip, and you cause tightness and strain. So yeah, man, just spread them out a little bit, get the hips out a little bit, just turn them out, toes out, knees out, drive the knees out whenever you're doing the squat. Boom, perfect. Let's go a little bit further on this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't go. I mean, like I said, there's time and place when you can do whenever you want to go a little parallel. Excuse me. But when we do parallel, there's more likely of the knees going in. Valgus. Valgus is what they call valgus of the knees going in, and varus is out. So yeah, you see that. Get a little more depth on that range of motion. Boom. It's not the perfect squat. I made this a couple years ago. My trunk should have been a little bit more solid, a little stiff. But I worked on it. I got my flexibility up. There you go. You see that? Toe out, knee out. Keep that chest up high. The back. So after the hips, we want to make sure we keep that back solid. Core tight. And yeah, drive those knees out. Should be nice and well balanced. See, when you're in this position, you're nice and centered. You ain't going forward or backwards. You're just driving off the knee or off the middle of that foot. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we want to point the toes out just slightly. Again, you don't want to like flare them out too much where now you're starting to put too much stress on the knees going the opposite direction. Slight external rotation. Boom, right there. And get that squat down. When you increase that range of motion, whenever in any exercises, I think we mentioned this with the push-up, increased range of motion, there's more muscles that get involved. The same thing with the squat. Because when we do the squat, we don't hit too much of the hamstrings. But if we get deeper on that squat, there's more lengthening of the hamstrings and shortening at the top end. So yeah, it's important to especially if we're doing a body weight squat. I mean, we can get that depth and we can work on that flexibility because that's one of the important things about these exercises is increasing flexibility. But even then, it's good for strengthening up. We got to get stronger. Can't be weak. Like I mentioned before, dude, we got to get up and out of that toilet even when we're like 90 or something like that. Let's get them squats in. If you ain't doing the challenge, step your game up. Let's get it. So yeah, the hips, get them positioned well. And after the hips, the back, make sure it's nice and rigid. Boom, good posture. It helps with everything, man. That's why this is a good exercise to incorporate. Like if you're just beginning, I think I have it on some of my people's programs. If you're just starting out, slow and steady, squats, push-ups, 2 big compound movements that are very important. There's different variations you can also do with the squat. When we do this, before I move on, the big muscle groups that are involved in this exercise are the quads, the hamstrings, the calves. Yeah, the calves. But yeah, even indirectly as well is more of the core, the back, solid. Uh, but yeah, when we talk about even the calves, because with the increased range of motion, we get that dorsiflexion. So the dorsiflexion is bending of the ankle, plantar flexion that way. So it gets more of that dorsiflexion, so more lengthening of the calf muscle, boom, and shortening of it. So yeah, a little bit of the calves as well. But yeah, like I said, it's important because I mean we do that movement throughout the day. Anyways, like me, I'm sitting down. If we don't work on it more frequently, I mean we can just be sitting here and get up, and we don't feel as stable and secure. So we focus on those fundamentals, and get stronger on it. But even that, lifting things with that squat with more resistance behind it. But even advanced people like athletics, if you want to work on more explosiveness, squat jumps, things of that nature, adding resistance behind it. And we'll go into more of that in other videos with like resistance, like barbell back squat, kettlebell goblet squats, things like that. But either of them or both of them have different times and place. If depending on what goals you have. And like I said, it works with that flexibility, that mobility. So getting that oh yeah, burpees is a good one too. Burpees, get that burpee game. I don't know about that. Burpees, I hate burpees, man, but it is a good explosive movement. Gets you going. You still get that same movement where you squat, exploding up. Yeah. Like I said, it works a lot of muscle groups, so it's a good overall muscle strengthening activity. And it's functional. Like I mentioned, those activities, you can do them throughout the day. Shoot. Oh, see that? AJ, see that? This is why you're supposed to be on here, dude. But you had technical difficulties. Dude, I know you over there hiding, okay? Okay. Uh I was gonna call you out and see your squats. You seen my squats. You know what? I don't know if I can I don't know if I have enough room in here to do a squat like that. But I've been doing I kind of fell back on my squats because it's 15 days this week. So 15 squats per day for this week. And then next week I think it's like what, 25 and then 35 and then 50. Each yeah. But anyways, I had to catch up. I did a lot of squats. But anyways, the next thing I was gonna go over joint health, man. You gotta keep those joints moving. It's a good way to kind of make sure you're strengthening around there, building those muscles around those knees. Oh yeah, see, making excuses, saying his stuff ain't working. Whatever, dude. Increasing that range of motion. Boom. And I mean, if you get plenty of these in there, it'll increase that cardio too because, man, you're working those legs, getting some squats in, dude, like 30 or something like that. Making sure you get that time and attention though as well. 'Cause you don't want to just, up and down, up and down. You want to actually activate those muscles, engage those muscles, protect those knees, and make them stronger. Dude, you don't need no tools. All you need is your tail, man. No equipment needed. You got this. So, uh, yeah, I know, man. The boys that left me hanging, Brian was working. And AJ, he's dodging me. He's saying he had some technical difficulties, but I think he's lying. I think he's dodging me because he knew I was gonna call him out on the squats. Pretty sure that's what it was. Yep. See. But let's go. And we dug into this a little bit as well with the squat variation. With the narrower stance squat. I mean, you ain't gonna get that much range of motion on that movement because of the hips. But whenever it comes to that, there's more tension built up around the quads. So it's more of the quad activation, isolating those. So it's good to do that kind of narrow stance whenever you're trying to increase on resistance. Excuse me. So, like, let's say you're doing some barbell back squats. If you want to just focus more on the quads, boom, do a little narrow stance. But you're going to decrease that range of motion. You do not bench my squat, AJ. Gosh, dog it, dude. And then the opposite when we go a little bit wider. Now you get some of those growing muscles in there where you're getting that wide stance, that little sumo, and more of those, around the thighs a little bit more. Inner thighs. Yeah, I don't need that. I mean, I got freaking I'm just looking for strength here. Okay. And so yeah, I mentioned the jump squats. Boom, explosiveness. Get that game up. Cardio, building it up as well. Ooh. See, our plan was to also get somebody who is specialized in this area as well. They have a class called the Bottom Busters. Maybe we'll have her on another time. We had her on as a guest previously, Alyssa, the group instructor, but she has a class specifically called Bottom Busters, and she does a lot of squats, a lot of lunges, and one of the squat variations that she had were the pulsing squats. I never really done those before, but I can see how they can work because you get like a different range of motion, from lengthening the shortening, but also in a pulsing manner where it's still tension, but getting those squats in, that tension, getting those muscles activated, even whenever you feel a little bit unstable, getting it. In single-legged squats. You know what? There was a time where this dude couldn't do single-legged squats. Little pistol, is that what they're called? Pistol squats. But your boy can do them. Okay. And I proved it today. Okay. With one of those, uh, the little half yoga ball things to work on the stability. Did it on one of those. So your boy can get it. Okay, with the pistol squats. Another person that can is the person that I was just talking about, Alyssa. And you know what? She could do them all along. And we trained for a little bit. And I think what was happening there is she wasn't so confident. But you know what? I was like, you got this. We worked on it, a little bit with you can add a TRX band. We talked about TRX before. It's pretty much like a supported rope thing, and kind of decreases the resistance on it so you can kind of help yourself up if you're struggling with something, increasing the range of motion. That's good for the squats as well. If you want to increase that range of motion, get yourself supported a little bit. But yeah, we worked on that. And next thing you know, she's over there pistol squatting away. Boom, single legged, getting all the way down. You just got to be careful. Don't get in there, get carried away. Guns blazing and freaking strain a knee or something like that. Slow and steady, build yourself up and get it. But yeah, man, it's good to incorporate all kinds of variations of the squat. The legs, I mean, they ain't nothing, especially if you have bad genetics. The legs ain't they ain't great to kind of work on because you're like, what am I doing? I'm over here working them out and they're looking the same or whatever, or barely any difference. But the squats are a big muscle group, man. Okay. And with that big muscle group, you get a lot out of it, whether it's, your hormonal levels, because of the muscle, that are getting activated, but also helping with the metabolism because more muscle mass, more energy that your body needs to uh, keep maintaining. Boom, get your dang leg game up. Don't abandon your legs. Squats, squats, man. When it comes to like the frequency, if you're just beginning, and if Anthony's still on here, I think we kind of talk about it a little bit. Just when we're doing full body movements, I think it's a good idea to work out that full body, rest up. Sometimes you might need another day to rest up to fully recover, or at least get that blood flowing. Walk, do something, jog, get that blood flowing, because you don't want to stay stagnant for too long, because then all those muscles are just going to be tightened up, and it's going to be harder for you to get up and go on the next day. So the frequency is usually your level. I would start with the high repetition with the range of motion. So 12 to 15 reps of those bodyweight squats, maybe every other day. And you can do different variations so you don't kind of get tired of it, or you don't get tired of it. You're still activating those muscle groups, but in a different variation. So you could do the regular bodyweight squats on Monday. They're a little sore. All those other muscle groups around there are a little sore. Do a little bit of lunges or something like that to kind of incorporate in there on Wednesday, because you get a little rest in between. Get those muscles rolling. Limit that range of motion so you don't strain those muscles or tighten them up too much where now you're like, oh, pushing too hard. Because you don't want to do that either, because you ain't gonna be wanting to come back. And my goal for this podcast and for everybody that's listening and that wants to stay active, I want you to keep moving, keep working out, keep doing these exercises. And if it takes just taking another day to rest up and recover so you can do just as good or even better than the previous time, go ahead. Take another little rest day. But come back and kick tail the day that you're gonna go and attack it again. But whenever we do these, a way that you can track the progression, and this is something that I work on with, that I tell a lot of people, because there's a lot of information to come at you at once. But when we do any workout or any movement like the squat, to make sure we're progressing, it doesn't have to be that you feel stronger or something like that. You're going to feel stronger inevitably if you keep working consistently. But a good way to kind of tell is also going for those repetitions. So let's say you go for 3 sets of 12 of the squats. Okay. You complete those. You feel comfortable in those. Before you start adding anything else, add another set to it. So instead of 3 sets, do 4 sets. 4 sets of 12. If you can complete all those comfortably, then move up to 3 sets of 15. Once you do that, build up on again, 4 sets of 15. And then bop, keep building up. With bodyweight squats, man, you can go up to like 20, 30, whatever it is. Build yourself up, and yeah, you'll see the progression. You'll feel a little lighter and stronger, and you'll be able to knock those out pretty well. So guys, got any questions? Any questions out there in the live world? I know, dude, it's the freaking Super Bowl already. It's like the playoffs ended, and I totally forgot about the Super Bowl. And it's in New Orleans because the Saints are my team. Unfortunately, they didn't do well at all, which sucks, but I forgot about it. I forgot about the dang Super Bowl until my wife mentioned something. And I was like, "Oh shoot. Yeah, the Super Bowl is this weekend. It's this weekend. It's on Sunday." Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna be doing. Probably nothing, chilling, sipping a brew, and yeah. But if y'all got any feedback on the Super Bowl, who's gonna win? Is it gonna be the Chiefs? Is it gonna be the Eagles? I think it's gonna be the Eagles. I'm going for the Eagles. Biggest reason why is because during fantasy league or fantasy football season, I had Travis Kelce on my team, and that dude let me down most of the season, and it put me on the Eagles. Yeah, that's what I'm going for, Eagles. And the Eagles have Jalen Hurts, OU, playing for OU. So I mean that's pretty cool. And he's good, dude. Whenever they allow him to run, he's like he's unstoppable. Patrick Mahomes, nah. He's got a little I feel like he gets lucky too much. Like some of those things, those little flicks or whatever, they're pretty cool. But some of the times, I feel like he gets lucky. Like some of the times where he falls over and throws it, that motherfucker gets lucky, dude. I don't care what you say. Yeah. But other than that, if you guys don't have any questions, hey, give me the feedback. Tell me what kind of concerns, what kind of issues you might have on this movement. We're gonna continue the series, and so if you're trying to figure out, we got the legs, we got the chest, the tries with the push-ups. Trying to figure out what the heck am I gonna do with my back? What do I do with my back? How do I strengthen my back? We'll tune in next week. Yeah, we'll do next week. Next week, strengthen that back. I'll show you, and you don't even need anything. It's body weight. That's how we're gonna do it. Anthony, I think knows that movement. I don't know. Did you do it well, Anthony? In the comments, let me know if you did the thing. But biggest takeaways from this episode is squats, man. Bodyweight squats. They're good for you, everyday functional thing to do. Get you up and out of the toilet. And what else? Yeah. Pick up even the babies and stuff. In that squat position, range of motion. Yeah, the core is the biggest one. That's where even on all these exercises, indirectly you work them out. The squat, keep you in that position. You don't want to be all hunched over when you're doing the squats. You want a good solid freaking back. Get down in there. Push up. Solid back. Everything else. And that's why sometimes if you do have a weak core, you got to target them a little bit more. Get some leg lifts in. Get some V-ups. Get some Russian twists. Get some, what are the other ones? Reverse crunches. All those biddies. Planks. Planks are good. Work that whole, keep you solid. Let's see. But if there's any other exercise that you guys want us to dig into, explain a little bit more, break it down, even have one of us like AJ get on here and demonstrate. Shout it out. Let us know what you want to see. Because we're here to help y'all. Okay? Yeah. Other than that, hey, thank you guys for tuning in to Cheers to Health.